Yeah.
What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I am here with tonight's All Tea All Shade, Married to Medicine, Season 9, Episode 1 review. So happy that the ladies are back. Yes, ma'am. It seemed like we have not seen Married to Medicine for literally probably about a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years. Wow. The ladies are back, and it was actually really refreshing to see them on my screen. I felt like I was catching up with old friends. So let's get into tonight's season premiere episode. The episode begins with Simone and Jackie, aka Groot. It's been too long. It's been too long. Jesus, and we're back though. We're back, T Squad. And Jackie, aka Groot, and Simone are back tight again. You know, they had fell out for almost 2 years, and they both needed to just put all of that bullshit aside and come back, and they are back. And it seems like they're better than ever. The husbands are, back on track. Everybody's kicking it, and everything is just where it needs to be. Even though I don't really care for Groot, I am happy that she and Simone have been able to reconcile their friendship, because that was just too long of a friendship to let go like that. So then we go over to Heavenly's house. Since we last saw her, she has opened up a beauty supply store that her daughter is helping run. She wants to pass it down to her daughter, which I think is a genius idea. Her daughter is just a young lady now. She's grown. I think she just graduated from high school, so it's good to see that. Quad comes over and they get to talking, and she asks Heavenly, has she spoken to Contessa? And Heavenly's like, no. After the reunion in New York, she pretty much ghosted me. I don't know why. I have not heard from her. Now, I have a video that I already recorded, and I'm just waiting on YouTube to release it as far as monetization. And Heavenly breaks down everything from her side of the story in that video. So I'm going to talk more about that once that video is able to drop. Hopefully I'll be able to drop it tomorrow, because I'm sick of YouTube holding it. But yeah, we'll get Heavenly's full side of the story of why she thinks her and Contessa fell out. So Heavenly is like, me and her were good. We talked every day. We kicked it like every other week. Like, they were really close Judies. And all of a sudden, Contessa just pretty much ghosted her. And then we switch over to Contessa, and Contessa says in her confessional, Heavenly talks about them like a dog. The production then goes and shows different clips from Heavenly's YouTube channel where she's talked about Jackie, she's talked about Contessa, she's talked about Toya. And Contessa was like, she's accused my husband of abuse, and basically she just feels like things went too far. Now, once again, in this interview that Heavenly did, she brought up some things that make me side-eye this situation. So I'm going to hold back on my opinions until we get more information, okay? And I want you guys to be able to hear what Heavenly said in her interview as well. So then we see Contessa at home with her fitness instructor, and she is preparing for her first fitness competition. I'm like, one thing you're going to get from Contessa every season is Contessa is going to have a new goal, something new that she's into, that she's building towards. Like, she is always putting her hands and feet in something. And Scott comes home with the kids. Apparently their relationship is back on track. She said that, they came home after the reunion and told the kids that they were going to be getting a divorce, and that she had the paperwork ready, but he refused to sign it. He said instead he'd go to therapy. They went to therapy, and apparently they're working on their relationship. It's not as volatile or argumentative as it used to be. And then Contessa said something in her confessional where she was like, I'm not looking to not be in my marriage, but, if I do end up in a situation where I start a new life, I'll be well equipped. Talking about her new body and everything that she's trying to get back. And I'm like, that's very telling. Like, who would say that if they're trying to really work on their marriage? I just don't know with Contessa. I just really don't, especially after that last season, because that last season, season 8, Scott showed his ass in more ways than one, and I will not forget that shit. So then we go and visit Quad at her home, and she's in her kitchen, and her cute little nephew, who is 6 years old, named Mason, comes into the kitchen and was like, I want some cereal. And she said, what? And he was like, can I please have some cereal? And she was like, much better. Baby, if that little boy don't remind me of Kyrese when Kyrese is that age. For any new T Squad members or even old T Squad members, I don't know if I've told this story on this channel, but Kyrese called me by my first name, Keisha, up until he was around 5 or 6 years old. And, you know, some people had a problem with it. Some people didn't. It was normal in my family because we all called my grandmother by her first name, which was Pat. All of her kids called her Pat. The grandkids called her Pat. We never called her granny or grandmother or anything like that. And so my mother owned a daycare, and she used to take care of Kyrese. So when Kyrese was at the daycare and all the other kids was calling my mom Miss Pat, he started calling my mama Miss Pat. He does not call her granny or anything like that. He calls her Miss Pat. And so growing up as well, he would hear people calling me Keisha. So he just naturally started calling me Keisha, and I never corrected him because I really didn't care, because the respect was still there as me being his mother. But baby, the day that had to change, Kyrese was literally, he had to been about either 4, 5, or 6. I want to say 5 or 6. And he walked into the doorway of my bedroom, y'all. And he stood in the doorway and said, fix me something to eat. No, he said, Keisha. And I looked, he said, fix me something to eat. Baby, I was like, oh, hell no. Nah. Oh, hell to the motherfucking nah. He done lost his goddamn mind. And from that day on, I was like, you're not calling me Keisha no more. First of all, who you talking to? And B, you're going to start calling me mom. And ever since that day, it was a cool transition. Like, as soon as I told him to start calling me mama, he never called me Keisha again. He literally just started calling me mom. But that really reminded me of Kyrese at that age, and that tickled me. So we find out that Mason is now living with her. Her mother is also living with her. So, of course, Quad had to upgrade from her townhome that she was in. And now she is living in a mansion, honey. And it's a beautiful place. And she tells us that Mason has not been focused in school. He's been getting in trouble in school and everything. And her mom tells her that the teacher said, you know, he just not focused in class. Like, he just started like daydreaming, thinking about stuff. And so she was like, what do you be thinking about? What do you be focused on? He was like, I be thinking about my dad. And he just starts crying. And I'm like, oh, Lord, that got me. That got me. I already loved Mason. Now I love him even more because we saw him years ago when he was just a little bambino. And so, of course, that makes Quad's mom cry because that was her son that he's talking about. And then that makes Quad cry as she's hugging her nephew, because we find out that her brother, his father, passed away from complications of the heart. And I was like, oh my God, no. That's just so sad. So, you know, Quad was like, you know, your dad is with you. He's watching over you. But, you know, I need for you to focus in class. You know, you got to do him proud, and, you know, you just got to focus. She was like, promise me you'll do that. And he was like, I will. And you could tell he's very intelligent. He's very knowledgeable of what's going on. Like, they're not sugarcoating anything for him. But that just broke my heart. I just love little Mason, and I just want the best for him because he's just a sweet little boy. And it's good that he does have somebody like Quad in his life, because one thing you can say about Quad is a go-getter. She gonna get to the bag, honey. So we then go to Anila's house, and she is blessing her new home. They're finally in their mansion. Her husband regrets spending so much goddamn money on that damn house. Toya has sold her and Eugene's house that they had built, and now they are living in a rental house literally in the same neighborhood because they bought new land and they're building their new dream home, which will feature an elevator and a tennis court. They needed more room for the kids, and I'm like, how much room you need for these goddamn kids? It's only 2 of them. What is going on? I don't understand Eugene and Toya. It's like, do y'all have money problems or what? Like, what is happening? what is happening here? Like, do y'all just be wanting to stunt? Is this Toya? Like, that house was perfectly fine for them damn kids. They had a pool. Did they have a traditional background? Backyard? No, but they had a whole playroom and shit. Like, I'm not understanding. And they big boys now. Like, they ain't going to be running outside and shit no way soon. But I just didn't understand. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Toya now. But anywho, so Anila apparently invited Toya to her housewarming party, but when she came to drop off the invite, Anila stayed in the car and had her son go, her little boy go up to the door, and Toya was like, "Are you gonna send the son to do the invite?" I felt like that was a little cowardly at this point. Like, show up to the door yourself. Don't send your little boy to come do your fucking dirty work. Like, the fuck. But Toya says that her and Anila, ever since the reunion, like, they're cordial, they're cool, but they don't really hang around each other like that. So Eugene tells her that, this was an attempt to, offer, what's that word I'm looking for? I can't think of it, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Basically, she wants to try to build their relationship or whatever. So then it is the day of Anila's housewarming / Diwali day, which is something that the Hindu culture celebrates. You can tell that Contessa really don't want to go because she don't really want to run into Heavenly, and she doesn't really want to put on the Hindu garb or whatever. But her and Scott cheating ass gonna come anyway. At the housewarming party, Contessa introduces the ladies to her friend Audra, who will be a new cast member on the show. This is the lady in the trailer that gets into it with Toya, and her and Toya are pointing their fingers all up in each other's faces and stuff. And I'm like, Lord, I'm not ready for that. But if you pay attention in this picture, you see Audra's husband standing to her right in the red shirt, and he looks so much like Dwayne Wade to me. Like, look at him. Don't he look like Dwayne Wade? Yes, ma'am, he does. So Heavenly then looks over. She was like, why is these ladies on my man? And the camera pans over to Daddy Honey talking to one of Anila's folks named Monique. And Qua was like, Monique. Heaven was like, but yeah, like, why is all these ladies just on my man? I'm not understanding that. We not about to do that. And so Kari then says to Damon, Heavenly is worried about you talking to other women. And Damon says, she don't have no reason to worry. I'm 100% dedicated to her. That's my wife. I love Heavenly. I don't want to be with nobody else. Did y'all miss my David voice as much as I did, Lord? Oh God, it's been like 2 years since I did my David voice. I'm so happy David is back. Like, I just want to have a whole conversation with David as me playing Damon and him being himself. That shit would be hilarious, child. So, they, the Diwali holiday is supposed to ward off evil spirits and start anew. So the whole cast is like, this evil spirits is gone. This party is about to be, great, positive. And then Contessa walks in. And she walks in dressed like she is Cleopatra, like she is Queen of the Damned. And I'm like, where are you going with this Party City ass outfit on? Like, this is not Halloween. Like, this is not dress up for play, cosplay. Like, what are you doing? And even Anila, like, what? Like, I felt like that was extremely disrespectful. If you weren't going to come dressed in the proper garb, then you should have just wore a regular outfit, because that was like, what is that? We're not Egyptian. What is this? What is this? I felt like that was totally disrespectful. Like, I didn't like that at all. So, then Toya and Eugene arrive in their little golf cart. And, Toya speaks to Anila. It's very surface level. Anila then takes everybody around the house and gives them a tour. And she lets everybody know that she got like half the furniture in their house for free by, taking pictures and blogging it and putting it on Instagram. I got to admit, If the shit is true, the bitch did the damn thing. You know, I can't hate on that at all. Get as much free shit as you can. So the guys are sitting around talking, and they make reference to Scott about, you know, how are things going for you? And he like, hey man, you know, everything going good for me. You know, the practice is doing good. I'm fine. Trying to gloss over everything that happened last season. I still don't like Scott. He still comes across very slimy. That marriage to me seems like a sham at this point. I just feel like I can't trust nothing that comes out of their mouth now. I just, So Contessa tells Quad that Heavenly really hurt her feelings when, you know, she talks about her on her YouTube channel. And Quad agrees, because she was like, Heavenly needs to understand that she just can't talk about people and then expect for them to just be like, okay with it. Like, no. And I do agree. Like, it's okay to have your opinions about folks. If you're going to do a YouTube channel and you're going to talk about your castmates, then you need to be prepared for them to be, you know, mad, happy, sad, whatever about what you're saying, and for them to come back with pressure towards you. So if you want to dish it, make sure you can take it. All you gotta do is start talking about daddy. That's all you gotta do. Start talking about daddy. She shut the fuck up then. So Quad then goes on to tell Contessa that, you know, Heavenly has been very messed up since y'all haven't been talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really bothering her. And Contessa was like, you know, well, it is what it is, but I'm not ready to talk to her. Today is not the day. But Quad does understand where Contessa is coming from. So at the end of the episode, Anila gets up and does, you know, their traditional Hindu Indian dances. And Simone gonna say, the bitch ain't got no rhythm. I love Simone. And that was the end of the episode. I felt like for their season premiere, it was a cute season premiere. I feel like with them being gone for so long, they could have came back a little bit harder, a little bit stronger, like just get straight to the shits. But we're going to see that this season, the cast is finally about to dig into Heavenly's ass. And I'm so happy that we are finally getting a season where Heavenly is getting her just due. Because we have had to sit through 8 seasons of her bullying, talking about people, making fun of people, shading people, always having something to say, trying to fight people and all types of ghetto trashy shit. And it's about time that somebody dug in her ass and gave her a taste of her own medicine. And I can't wait to see how she's going to deal with it and react, because she has caused so much havoc over the last 8 seasons. Overall, I'm going to give tonight's episode a B-. It was cute. I'm ready to see what the rest of the season, however, is going to bring. Let me know what you guys thought about tonight's episode down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.